Hi, Paul Hefty here with the Triangle O Football System. I want to talk about pre-season, a 3-week install using a periodization system here for Chatfield, Minnesota High School. Something worked with sports science, performance science people here at Penn State. What we'll do is go through week 1, specifically break it down, and then we'll go over week 2 and 3 and finish up with some situational coaching and transformational leadership examples. Let's take a look. So first we start with week 1. We're going to ramp into a speed day in the middle here with 2-day sessions. You can see here Monday, Foundation 1, all offense, morning and afternoon. Then Tuesday is defense, another foundation day. Wednesday then is speed, where we split up offense and defense. Thursday then is a no sweat day, and then Friday is your fast prep or a pre-activation combined with a game day. Then we've got an active recovery on Saturday morning, finishing up with complete day off on Sunday. What you want to do here then too is also combine this periodization from a conditioning standpoint with your field zones. So you can see here on Monday, since we're doing foundation day, we want to look at red zones so we're not running long distances, quality versus quantity. Then when we get to our speed days, now we start to go middle of the field, the green there, freewheel zone. So we're going to do your deep routes, more long distance running, speed up the tempo. Then you can see -2 becomes that no sweat day where we really kind of review and clean things up. And then day -1 is that reactivation. We're going to go lower volume, amount of time on the field, but each rep needs to be at game speed. Last, then you can use these field zones in your team periods where you go ahead and use mini game plans. So you can see in the backed up there on the upper left, the defensive reaction is usually base fronts. You can have a pretty consistent set of plays that you're going to run coming out of the end zone on the negative end. Then we get in the free zone, we want to start taking shots. Idea here is really to reverse defensive logic. Fringe zone is now where we're talking about being in that 4-down zone area. Continue to take shots. Plus 35 we're out from, but you're going to see more blitzing. High red zone then is plus 25. You're going to see their best in the base defense with blitzing, and then we get tight red zone down to the plus 15. A lot of cover zero, they're going to bring it. Goal line, obviously, you're going to see 8 to 9 people in the box. Condensed defense. All right, with programs where we're going to have players learning both sides of the ball, we like to do day 1 as a foundation of offense in the morning. This is that -4 day counting out. We'll start with our zone game, again, outside in, looking at stretch zone and then our mid zone. Then the second half of practice, we get into our now screens and our sprint out pass along with alerts on your PROs with your game. You can see movements, then we start to install the foundation of it. Then in the PM, we go offense again, so it's a complete offensive day on day 1. Now we're going to go ahead and go split zone and the variations along with just that slip screen out of it and alerts again. Day 2 then is another foundation day, but we switch to defense AM and PM. We're going to use the same type of field zones, red zone, again, lower intensity, attention to details, and really learn how to practice fundamentals. Then we go to our speed day where we've ramped up. This is Wednesday, -3. AM is the morning, is offense. Now we're going to go with our pin and pull sweep. We'll get into then our waggles, deeper pass plays, and a read screen where we've got linemen running too. Key here is you want to do an 80-20 rule where you're going to do 80% of new installation, but then you want to recall things you put in with the zone work on day 1 20% of the time. Pick which one you need the most work on. Then we'll kind of build on the movements, and then field zone, we get to that free zone, like we said, down to the fringe or 4-down zone. Work more third downs and mediums at this time. Defense then in the afternoon, same thing as AM, but we want to make sure we watch for fatigue with the running, and we can lower the intensity volume if needed. The key is to keep kids available to practice. You're building up endurance week 1. This is where it's different now. 48 hours out from a competition with all this periodization methods, we want to go to what's called a no sweat day. So we're going to go ahead and slow down everything, really do quality teaching. This is a great time to do a focus now offensively in the morning, installing your pass protection, your pocket pass pro, and a simple base pass where receivers aren't running downfield. Then we can focus on your kick game. We can also go to the offensive sets there, and again, start to introduce that backed up zone where you have consistent play calling. Defense, we're going to do the same thing, no sweat. Again, we can go to a defensive kick game, and then we can add also tackling circuits. Great time to work on safety and teaching and recalling of that. And then on Friday, day 5, we're going to combine what would be your normal 24 hours out pre-activation, getting ready for a game day. This is where we're going to shorten the amount of time of practice, but you want to do everything at game speed. And we're basically going to do a dress rehearsal for both the coaches and the players practicing how a game would go. So you'll start first half of practice with an offensive emphasis and go backed up zone and just work down the field. You'll actually practice your halftime transition and some of your kick game, and then work all the way down to the goal and score with PATs, 2-point plays. In the PM, then, we're going to do the defense and do the exact same thing. So you're going to get 2 game day rehearsals, again, going shorter practice time, but we're going to go ahead and go game speed. Then on week 1, since we're just building endurance, learning how to practice and get efficient, we do 2 complete recovery days. On Saturday in the morning, just come in and do no offense or defense, but an active recovery, stretch and strides. Can be captain led with your strength coach, or can be coaches too. Then Sunday is complete passive recovery, nothing. And that's a good day off, both mentally and physically, for the coaches and the players. Remember, the key here is not to kill anyone, but develop endurance. The goal is to make sure players are all available to practice and nobody quits because they haven't been getting an opportunity to compete. So I like to not use actually depth charts, but just rotate people's on a regular basis. All right, week 2 and 3 then, we're going to start to build up towards game week. So week 2 now becomes our power phase, where we're going to go ahead and use the same periodization, but we're going to add a game day or scrimmage day 0, and then on Saturday. And now we're going to start to speed up the tempo. We're going to go short bursts, but high reps. And again, we can now go to our gap scheme game offensively and get to our vertical pass game, kind of our big pass 3. Week 3 then, we go to 1-day practices, our school model in the afternoon, with Friday being the game day at game day 0. And this is where we'll do our game plan, all our situational review, and ready to roll. So we'll look at week 2 here now. You can see after our Sunday being a complete passive recovery day, we're going to go again 2 practice sessions. Monday, foundation 1 again, offensive emphasis. Tuesday then, defense. Wednesday's the speed day now, where we go offense and defense. Thursday is the no sweat, offense, defense. Friday, we just go 1 practice, where we're going to go ahead. First half of practice is offensive emphasis doing the rehearsal, and second half then is defense doing the rehearsal. Then Saturday, you have your scrimmage, and this again becomes your highest intensity workout, back to Sunday as a complete passive recovery day. Then week 3, we get into our game week. Like I said, we're going back to our afternoon 1 practice a day, and this becomes your routine with Friday night games. You just count 0 on game day and then work back. So -1 is that pre-activation prep on Thursday. Then Wednesday, 48 hours out, is the no sweat. Tuesday becomes the speed day, and Monday becomes that foundation day. Last thing we want to do here is realize that there's 4 stages in team development, and this happens with every program. You want to hopefully do the forming in the spring and the summer, so that your preseason is kind of your storming, working through things, and then finally by week 3 normalizing, and then throughout the season, stage 4, where you start to perform at a high level. Last, I like to use a transformational leadership style, what I call the 5 Z's here, where you empower and engage everyone to be a leader, and you transform that power to all so the team evolves, both coaches and players, and you simply are striving to be the best you can be, striving for excellence. Thanks.